like something's happening in the background and someone is exploiting the data. That's never happening. We don't know about the medical data that our customers store inside the system. So we want to build trust. People have a lot of trust issues with medical data, and we totally understand that, because it's valuable data. It's the things that really concern you and your family, and maybe the things that you will do in the future, or the possibilities that you have as a human being. So this has to be protected 100%. And that's what we absolutely do at all times. So the platform is a medical product. We are GDPR compliant. We fulfill all the required standards. And so
it does ring a bell to us, because we are actually doing the same. For us, the ethical use of data is really important, right? And being in Europe, the GDPR is quite strict. But if we're talking about medical records, or in our case, genetics and DNA records, you are given the option of, first of all, anonymously, to use it anonymously, and then not to touch this data, right? We are not in possession of this. You are, as a user, and you opt in the system and authorize who is doing what with your data, but we are not the one controlling. It's decentralized, secure, safe. And this, I think this is the way the world should be evolving. Honestly, we have seen so much openness during COVID with the vaccine. We changed the mentality of sharing information right away of a vaccine and showing the passport or whatever, for good or bad reasons. Everybody can decide on that. But I think we lost a bit the sensitivity of what you show, or what kind of information you provide to different people.
The thing is that we also try to apply these rules. And as you said, GDPR rules, HIPAA compliance rules in the US are one of the hardest data security rules. And we try to apply these also to areas where they are not applicable normally. So we also protect people's data if they're from Bangladesh or from Lesotho, wherever they come from. We apply these data security and integrity rules to give people also the understanding that their data is valuable. Because when you take a look at some practices around the world where people are exploited for data, for whatsoever, people are not aware of the value that data is. And this is a big opportunity for people, so they can monetize their data, depersonalized, and can earn a lot of money with that, and can pay for medical bills. Also in areas where maybe there is no health insurance system, where people do not earn 3,000 euros a month or so. So this is a real opportunity, and we want to give people this tool, their data, and show them, okay, you have the data, it's valuable, you can use it. On the other hand, we still protect them by applying the rules that we are used to. So that's very important. And as you asked me, what is the product, or what is the USP that we give patients? So we bridge, let me start differently. A patient, or a chronically ill patient even, 95% of their time they're at home. They're not in a hospital, they're not at the doctors, they're sitting at home or wherever, and have to cope with their healthcare status, with their health, with their conditions and whatsoever. And we try to fill this gap, these 95%. We want to be there for the patients, but also for the professional healthcare providers, because they also have issues when they are not in touch with the patients. A good example is, I prescribe a medication to a patient because I know it helps them. Maybe they have a heart failure and I prescribe a new medication. And then the patient goes to the pharmacy, grabs the medication, goes home, opens the box and picks out this paper. And then he reads it. Oh my God, he says, I don't want to take this. It will kill me. I will not take it. Boom. And that's done. And in this time, the doctor has no control over this, because patients are left alone, and they are in fear of these issues and of possible side effects a medication has. And I totally get it, because when you read these papers, you would take the medication, throw it away, because you say, I don't take it, this is poison. But in reality, it's much more dangerous to not take the medication. So you have to be there for the patient during the time that the patient is not in touch with the doctor. And that's what we try to fill with all these services: e-health, metaverse. So this is, the e-health and health services that we provide, and the data to monetize and to use that pool of data. Everyone needs this data. It creates big opportunities for researchers. It generates opportunities for the future of mankind. This data is a real treasure, and we help to get this treasure and to use the treasure for the good of everyone.
Absolutely. I would call it even healthcare on demand, right? You could be 24/7 connected to the platform and not only be having your records, that you see the doses per day that you need to take, so you don't get mistaken. But also your doctor could see your allergies, for example. When you go to a doctor, say, okay, what are your allergies? Any medicament, any drug? Sometimes you forget, right? When you were a child, you took something, you don't take it anymore, and then you forget about it. So they can see this at all times. Maybe the medicine they're giving you is a different brand, but it's the same component. So maybe when you add it in the system, maybe you get a little warning alarm. Okay, you could be allergic to this. And you raise a point that I think it's really interesting, which is you use the data to pay your own bills, right? Like you could be even paying your medical insurance. If it's a private insurance, something, you just turn the income of this to cover your fees, for example. This is something that is fantastic, giving this utility, not only for you guys, for the pool, to use the pool of data for research, for having this massive amount of information, but individually, you can do use of something that you normally don't have or don't use. And we're talking about what you are, your information. You could just put it in the system and just cash in, basically.
The thing is that big tech companies like Facebook and Instagram, why are they so valuable? They have billions of users. Okay, exactly. That's the one thing. But what makes it so valuable? It's the data they get from these users. And I mean, when we look at Facebook, they earn a lot of money with advertising due to the fact that they have the information that Mrs. Schmidt went to cinema last week. Who cares? But in the end, that's something that really is important for the industry, because they know, okay, Mrs. Schmidt likes cinema. I sent her advertisements of cinema, and maybe she goes again and pays for that service. So I have there is this relation. But medical data is so much more valuable and much more critical, and that's why the data protection systems in medicine have to be completely different than in these normal retail platforms style. But it's the same mechanism behind it that generates the value and participates the data owners. And Facebook and Instagram do not participate their users in that. At least I'm not aware of that, and we do that. So
yeah, exactly. They're centralized, right? It's a big company is holding data and doing or giving a commercial use to it. That's it. It's as simple as that. You consent, you opt in. That's it. This is your data. Use it, but you don't get any reward. Basically, it's the other way around. You just get offered more advertising, more, I would say, personalized content and information. But the real beneficiary at the end is the centralized company and the advertising companies, because those are putting in front of you all this information. So yeah, it's pretty remarkable what you guys are doing. I have a question. Do you integrate with on healthcare providers, maybe as a white label solution or API, or is in your roadmap to become a healthcare provider globally yourself? What's your roadmap here?
So we are not offering a white label solution. We have been asked for that several times, and we don't want to do that because we don't see the benefit. Because you're again creating data silos. We haven't spoken about data silos, but having a lot of platforms is good. Offering these services is always good, but it doesn't make sense to create more and more data silos. So our goal is to create even more open platform and participate the community and people around the world when it comes to development and integration. So we are speaking and already actively third-party tools into the system, because we say, okay, this is much better than what we have. Let's offer it on our platform and give patients the possibility to use your service using our platform.
Yeah.
And it's good to have this open platform idea. And we integrate, but we definitely integrate with professional existing healthcare IT via FHIR. That's one of these standards. I think you're right, the medical connection standards, because hospitals and certain healthcare institutions will not just throw away their software because now Aimedis comes with a new solution. That's not how it's going. So we have to adapt, and we have to be interoperable to speak with different systems, right? In the US, in Europe, wherever. Yeah, that's definitely the case.
Okay, so basically you are attracting partners to provide solutions within your platform, and obviously the more partners you have, the more solutions you are.
Exactly. We also, with the metaverse, we engage. We are shortly before stopping the cooperations, because we got so many requests and so many people say, hey, we want to be part of that. We want to work with you. How can we contribute to that?
Yeah.
So we're actually integrating all these parties that have approached us and that we also approached. But in the end, the metaverse will be a community project. So it's not like we built all this infrastructure. It will be the community and the people using it that will make this a valuable product in the end. So we are very much interested in connecting also to other metaverses.